All right, friends. Hello, hello. Good morning. It's Jody Harvilla, psychic medium, spiritual teacher, space clear, and we are here for day 4 of Tricks and Treats. So, I'm going to hang for just a second. So I'm a little early today. Normally I'm on at noon, but Eli and I have some shit to do. So we are busy today. So I am on early. All right. Hang tight, friends, and say hello in the comments so I know you can hear me and see me. There we go. Now we got some people jumping on. All right. And so we have had some great fun and new people signing up for Spirit School. So if that's something you are taking a peek at, please take a look at the link so you can see all the fun stuff included. Our next class in Spirit School is on Wednesday the 9th, and we're going to do some intuition work. And all the classes in there are recorded because I know people have church Wednesday nights and different things, and we do different nights depending on the month, but that's next class. So if you do join this week, you can catch us for our intuition development class next week on the 9th. All right. Good morning. Good morning. You guys can hear me and see me. Hi, Cindy. I see ya. You must be able to see me now. That's good. There's Donna. Hello, ladies. Happy Friday. This is a busy week. This week felt like it was like 2 weeks long. I was busy. All right. All right, Myrna. I'm gonna do quick and fast today too, so no problem. All right, so let's start talking. So today, one of the tricks and treats that I wanted to share about and remind people about, and this was something that I think this took me a long time to really kind of understand what it meant, and actually to I don't know, not to feel it, but also to experience my life with it and without it, and to see the difference. And today what we wanted to talk about is filling yourself back up. So a lot of us work. We've been trained to work. Our story is you're valuable and worthy if you work. And very little time is left over to fill yourself back up. So, and I didn't realize years ago how important that was. I was always tired, and I heard myself say it. I'm so tired. I'm always so tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. And even on the days I didn't do anything, I was so tired. And that learning to fill yourself up with something that creates joy or happiness or laughter or satisfaction, or that you accomplish something besides work, was kind of a lost thing on me. I just was like, I don't know, you just grow up and you do your work and you take care of your kids and you clean the house and and watch TV at night. Like that's what you do. And I kept hearing from different teachers and a lot from Sunny, because I've worked with Sunny probably the longest. And she's like, you're not filling yourself up. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Like I meditate, I call in the light, I ground myself, like I do all the stuff. And she's like, no, like you're not enjoying life. Like you're not going out and having fun. And I didn't even know what that meant, because in my 20s, that was like going to the bars and drinking and partying on the weekends. I am not that girl anymore. Once in a while, sure, but I don't love it. Like I hate being hungover. It's annoying. It wrecks my day. Having a couple drinks here and there, sure, for sure. But well, not for sure for everyone, but for me, once in a while, or at the lake or something. But the things in my 20s that I did before I had kids just didn't fit. Now that my kids are older and they don't need me that much, and they need me sometimes, but not that much. I just didn't know what made me happy. I had no idea. And I was like, I don't know. So I started trying things. I just started trying things. And I tell people, and I tell my clients this all the time. I'm like, you just have to go out and start trying things. And they don't love that because they're comfortable at home. They don't really want to go out of their house. And we get 9 months of winter, so we don't really want to leave our house. But you got to try things, see what starts to fill you up. And you have to start paying attention with when you go do things, how do you feel afterwards? And that's what I was not paying attention to. So we are a skiing family. We love to ski. And we have teeny tiny little hills in Minnesota that we're close to. And North Dakota. We're actually close to a couple in North Dakota too, but they're little, but we love it. And I remember going skiing one day, and I came home and I was really tired, and I was taking a bath, and I thought, God, that just was so good. That felt so good to go out, and I'm tired, but I felt satisfied. And we usually only go for a couple hours because they're teeny tiny hills. So it's not a whole day thing like if we go on a big mountain trip. But it was so fulfilling. And I was like, oh, that's new. Like that's a new feeling, to feel fulfilled by something I just did, even if it tired me out in a good way. It wasn't tiring me out in, oh my God, I got to go to work again. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. Like it wasn't that kind of tired. It was like this fulfilled tired. And that was different. And so I spent a lot of time skiing that year, and I learned to go skiing by myself. Because I usually only went skiing when Eli and the kids went. And during the week, every once in a while, there's an afternoon where I'm like, I don't have any clients today. And that gives me a lot of freedom that a lot of people I know don't get, but I have it. And I was like, why am I not skiing? It's beautiful today. The roads are good. The snow is good. Why am I not skiing? So I packed up one day and I left, texted Eli and said, I'm going skiing for a couple hours. And he was like, I'm sorry, what? You're doing what? And I was like, yeah, I can go. And I went skiing, and I'll never forget it. It was so funny. I went skiing by myself. It just happened to be one of those days where all the schools come out and go skiing. And I'd get on the lift with one of the moms or one of the women that were helping with all the kids. And they're looking at me and they're like, are you with us? Like, we don't recognize you. And I'm like, no, I'm just skiing today by myself. And their faces were like, what? What do you mean? By yourself? Where's your kids? Like, what do you mean? And I was like, yeah, I like had the afternoon. And so I like packed up my shit and I just came skiing by myself. I don't have to watch any of these children. None of them are my responsibility. And they were like, you can do that? I'm like, I totally can. Like, I'm so doing it. And every time I went that winter, I would meet a family with the wife on the lift, and they'd be like, where are your children? And what do you mean you get to go by yourself? I'm like, I just do. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. And I'm like, ladies, you should try this. Like, it's so fun. Like, you can just ski. You can stop and rest and warm up, or you can just keep skiing and then just be done. Like, it was like this awakening thing that I could just go do something that was all for me. And I've never been super shy about, like, I'll go to lunch by myself. I'll go to a movie by myself. That was never an issue for me. It is a thing for a lot of my clients because that's such a new experience to just go to lunch by yourself and sit by yourself and enjoy your company. And that was never a big deal for me. Like, whatever, it just was never a thing for me. And so it was so fun just to start doing things that filled me up. So then I realized that on our family trips, because I don't think family trips are vacations, I think they're trips because they're a lot of work. I realized that I very much was planning the vacation trip for my boys and my husband. I knew their likes. I knew what they liked. I knew what they needed to have fun. I knew the food that they needed to have. I knew what kind of room setups we all needed. I knew what activities they all like to do. Like, I knew all of that. And so I would set up the trips in that way. And I would forget that I actually had things that I like to do too. And I had a good friend, I don't think she's on this morning, but I went for a massage one time on a family vacation by myself. And Eli had no trouble with it. Kids had no trouble with it. They were like, yeah, go get your massage. We're going to go do this. And I was like, I just don't want to go do that. And I remember feeling really guilty about that. And she's like, are you kidding? I go get massages every time we go on a family trip. That's the best part, is I get to go do shit that I want to do, and they get to do shit they want to do, and then everyone's happy. And I had never planned a trip that way, ever. I had never taken my needs into consideration on trips. I made sure everyone else was happy, and then I was supposed to be okay with that in my mind. And then I'd come home and I'd be disappointed from all these great trips. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is this? This is not okay. And so I very much started to be like, okay, well, what do I need? And a lot of times I need maybe a little space away, or like for Montana, I like to go hiking. Eli likes to go fishing. And so he'd be like, well, sure, I'm going to go fishing and then we'll go get a hike in. Well, it's too fucking hot for me and my hot flashes at 3 p.m. to go for a hike. So I didn't like that. And that would piss me off. And so over the years, we've really had to communicate differently on, like, if we're going to hike, I'm going before noon, because I'm not hiking at 2 p.m. when it's 80 degrees. It doesn't work for me. I get too hot. I get overheated. I get hot flashes. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And for many years, it was like he just couldn't hear it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to go by myself. And so I would just go. And he was like, why didn't you wait for me? I'm like, because I've told you, like, I'm going to go do something that I want to do. You want to come with me, you go when I go. So this last trip was super fun because, again, my kids are much older now, so way easier. And we had one of the best trips. Everyone got to do stuff that they wanted to do. And we had definite stuff where we did stuff together, and definite stuff where we did stuff alone. And it was just so great. And I've even started doing different things when I travel with friends. I like my own room. I like my own space. I like my own room. I don't want to listen to you snore. I also don't want to listen to you bitch if I snore, or I move in the middle of the night and you wake up. Like, I don't want to do any of that. And so I have two great friends since 4th grade. And they get so annoyed because they're just like, well, we don't need, 3 bedrooms. I'm like, nope, we do. We do now. And now one of them is on my board. She's on my team with their own room. And I'm like, yeah, I want my own room. I feel better. I sleep better. I need my space. Like, I am a better person if I get some sleep at night. And so if I have my own room, I sleep. And I just started to have to speak up a little bit for what I needed to have fun. So yesterday I was having a conversation with a client, and it was such a great conversation. And I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, about filling yourself up. So this weekend we have to go close the camper down. Always a sad weekend. Hate closing the camper down because we love our camper, and the leaves are changing. So I definitely want to go hiking. Definitely want to go hiking. Top of my list. That is my list, hiking. Closing the camper down, you got to do a lot of shit. You got to put all the boats away. You got to take everything out. You got to, make sure all the food is out. You got to clean everything. It's just a lot of work. And my husband and I have different mindsets on work versus fun. So Eli is very much, you get all your work done and then you deserve to go have fun. I am, let's go have some fun, really feel good about ourselves, raise our vibrations, and then I'll go and get the work done. And so we have very opposite mindsets on that piece. And we used to get in lots of arguments about that because I've waited my whole life for Eli to get done working. But the thing is, Eli never gets done working because he's a worker. And he will find work at the camper, and then we will go take some stuff to the farm, and he will find work at the farm, and I will be waiting. I have spent my whole marriage waiting to go have fun with my husband, and so have my children. And in his mind, that makes no sense to him because at 5 o'clock at night when we're all mad and he's finally done working, he's like, okay, like, let's go get our fun done. And he doesn't realize, like, he's like just checking it off his list. And we're all like, we've been waiting all damn day. Like, we're over it now. We're totally over it now. And we're all mad at you because we just had to work all weekend instead of doing some fun. And it's such an argument. And so I remember one weekend, it was so hot. Oh, it was like one of those, it was too hot to even be at the lake unless you just sit in the lake all day. And we were headed home. It was a Sunday and it was time to head home. And it was so hot out and no one wanted to clean up. Like it was just like, you don't want to move. And and I just told Eli, I'm like, you know what? If you would just take us swimming and let the boys swim for a little bit, you and I swim for a little bit, take the neighbor kids and just go out in the lake and cool off, we'll get all this shit done in an hour and we can be out of here. But you're saying let's swim after we're all done when we're all pissed off and crabby and nobody likes you anymore. And then you think we're going to go have fun with you. And so he's like, fine, screw it, let's go. And he got mad about it, but we got in the boat and we went swimming. And I think we swam for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, not a super long time. Everyone had fun. Kids were jumping off the boat. Eli's jumping off the boat. I was in the water swimming, cooled ourselves off, came back, got all our shit done in about 45 minutes. And I was like, see, sometimes you got to go have the fun first. Sometimes you got to go fill yourself up first with the fun. Then you have the energy to go do the shit that you don't want to do. And that was a game changer for me because if there's stuff I don't want to do, I'm like, all right, you can go do this fun thing. But when you get back, like you have to get it done. And that works for me. And Eli is much more, nope, you get all your work done. So this weekend, it's just us. Kids aren't coming till Sunday. And I was like, so what's your expectations this week? Like this weekend? Like what are your like, what do I have to do to help you close the camper? Because I'm usually at my fall retreat in the fall and he closes it. And so I wanted to get some clear things because he promised me a hike in the woods because the leaves are peak color right now or close to it. And he's like, oh, well, Friday and Saturday are for you. Sundays for me to get hunting stuff ready. I'm like, nope, that's not enough. Tell me more. Tell me more what your expectations are. And he's like, what are you talking about? I got to get the boat done and I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do this. And then we'll go on your little hike. And I'm like, nope, no, I don't like that. Nope, because I'll be waiting for 2 days and you'll take me on a 10-minute hike and think that you did my expectations what I wanted. I'm like, not okay. I'm not doing it that way. And he just kind of stared at me in the way that husbands do. And I was like, nope, we need to get our work done on Friday. If you want to do that, I said, you get the big stuff done so that Saturday we can get up and go for our hike in the morning when it's nice and cool out and the sun is out and it's super fun before the wind comes up. And then if we have some finished work, we'll come back and do that in the late afternoon, evening. And he was like, all right, we can do it that way. It was just communication. It's simple communication once you understand it. And I was the one that understood it first. So I had to start changing how I communicated. And that alone was less tiring than the fighting. And he still laughs because I'll be like, dude, I've spent like almost 25 years just waiting for you so we can go have fun. Like I just wait all day because there's always something to fix. There's always something to do. There's always chores to do. Well, I got to get my work done. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like I think our first 15 years of marriage, he never called in sick to work, ever. And that was really telling what his mindset was. And I remember he was so sick one day, like puking sick, like stomach flu sick. And he at the time worked in a restaurant. And I was like, the hell if I'm going to let you go into work, gross. And he's like, no, I can't let people down. And I got to go to work. I'm like, who wants someone with the stomach flu at work? And I remember calling his work wife at the time. That's what we called her. And I was like, he is not coming in. Like he's throwing up. Disgusting. He's not coming into a restaurant. And he started to understand like it was okay to call in. He never called in when the kids were sick. He would always go to work. Because in his mind, that was his responsibility. He is the one that did that for the family. He is providing, I realized where it came from. Like I could see it really clearly, but it didn't work with our lifestyle. I'm like, dude, I need to work too. Like I have clients. If I don't work, I don't get paid. Like I have clients too. And so So I think it's seeing things that are blocking, or I don't know if it's even a block, but just seeing things from a different perspective so you can shift your life a little bit to your life, not how you grew up, and how things work better for your family. My family needs to have a little fun first. Then they'll show up and do the work. But what we've been trained, me and my kids, is do your work first and then you get a little bit of fun. Doesn't work. Nor do I want to live that way. I don't want to live that way. And then I rather have much more fun at the work. So if I've had fun, I'm in a good mood, I'm not going to bitch so much. So I think that learning that piece was huge in keeping things more calm and fun and much more smooth in our household. Because I mean, we used to yell and do all the fights, and I mean, we've had our family stuff, but once we kind of Eli and I figured that out, not the kids. And once Eli and I figured that out, that became a lot more smooth. Because I remember Foster saying, "I don't like coming home. All I have to do is work." Then I'm like, dude, if all he does is work, he's never going to come home and see me. Like, stop making him work every time he comes home. Same with Keaton. He comes out of his room, all he has is a chore list. So a lot of times that's why they stay in their room. They don't want to come out and do chores all the time. They actually, might want to have a conversation or have some fun. So yeah, my kids taught me too, for sure. Eli is born in February. I don't think he's a Capricorn. I never remember the signs. I have to look them up. I don't know what's February. You guys probably know better than me. I would say we have learned to communicate differently, and it's not done. It's an ongoing thing. Trust me, it's an ongoing thing. There's a few times this week alone, I'm like, dude, I'm going to put that online and just see all those people that love you so much. I'm going to show them this part of you. And he just thinks that he just cracks himself up. He thinks it's so funny. Donna said, I think it was harder for my kids to realize I was choosing me. Yep. They get it now that they are a little older. Yeah. I think that's really hard. One of the things I used to say to my kids was, how you get to go play with your friends every day? I'm like, Mom has friends too, and I like to go play with my friends. My kids used to come, my friends would stop over and we'd sit out front and talk and chat, and the kids would come and hang out. And I'm like, nope, I don't hang out with you and your friends. So go play, go have something, go do something, because I'm playing with my friend right now. So I just use their language. Yeah. He is an Aquarius. Yep. That's right. He is an Aquarius. So yeah, I do think fun is a thing. Even when I had kids, I became responsible, and I forgot I was fun, and I forgot I was allowed to have fun. And Eli worked a lot of nights and weekends in his job. And so I had the kids most of the time, and I was not a great stay-at-home mom. Didn't fit me very well. But I tried. I did the best I could at the time, which wasn't awesome. But I remember one day it was either yell and scream at the kids or find a new way. And I took the pillows on the couch and I started whipping them at the kids, and they were running back and forth. And I was pretend trying to hit them, and I'd miss them or I'd get them or whatever. And it was hilarious. And then another time in the spring, we were all going crazy because it just kept blizzarding. We just got blizzard after blizzard after blizzard after blizzard. And all of us were stuck in this house, and it was cold, like cold blizzards, not like fun, go play in the snow. And I remember I was desperate. I was like, Spirit, I need an idea, because I'm going to kill these kids and they're going to kill me, and it's just going to be bad. And Spirit told me to go get the toilet paper, and we TP'd the whole living room. It was everywhere. The kids, this is way before COVID, the kids just had toilet paper everywhere. And not only did the kids have fun with it, but my two bored cats had fun with it. And we were having the best time. Eli came in from work and he looked around and he's like, you have lost your mind. And I'm like, better that than being pissed off all the time. And then there'd be times where they'd be outside and we'd be trying to get yard work done, and they didn't want to help, or they'd get snotty with us, or we didn't want to do, or whatever. And so I'd grab the hose and chase after them, and we'd have a water fight. So I had to learn to be fun again. I had to learn to do fun stuff with my children. I had to learn that it was okay to get your chores done and have fun, or go have fun and then get your chores done. That was much more fulfilling to me, and it filled me up more than how I had been doing it before. So I think that learning to fill yourself up is so important. And it's important to teach your kids. I started traveling when they were little bits of traveling. And the past 2 years, I've had two big trips, and they both fell on Foster's birthday. And he was like, "Excuse me, like, what the hell? You're going to miss my birthday again?" And I'm like, "I'm really sorry, but have to walk the Camino. Like, I can't not do it, Foster. Like, I have wanted to do this for so many years." And he is teasing me, but there's always a little truth in the teasing, right? And I'm like, I have to go. I have to. And he's like, "No, no, no, go have fun, go have fun." And he's really supportive of it. But it definitely was a pause before I said yes. I was like, shit, I'm gonna miss his birthday again. And I don't think I've ever missed any of Foster's birthday until he turned 21. And then I missed the last two. So I do think that there's times that you do have to pick yourself over your kids, over your spouse, over your friends. Like, you got to choose yourself first, because when you don't, you sure get resentful super fast. And they learn. I started going to the lake a night early when they were maybe, I don't know, they weren't quite teenagers, but they were probably 11, 12, right in that age. And I remember early in the week, they would be like, "Mom, don't you think you need to go have some mom time at the camper by yourself?" And I'm like, "Jerks. But yeah, I think I do." And they're like, "You should go." Because when I left, Dad's fun. Dad would get pizza. They would watch movies. They would roughhouse. They would be yelling and screaming. They would do all the things that I would tell them to stop doing. And so they loved it. And I loved it. So everyone was happy. So I do think that I do think that it takes some time, and it takes some creative thinking, and just trying things a different way. Okay. I know, that's what I kind of thought with the 21-year-old birthday. She's like, "What 21-year-old wants their mom there?" Mine did, which I love. But yeah, it was really funny. I'm like, "It's your 21st." I definitely didn't want my parents at my 21st. But kids are a little different. They're not huge my kids aren't huge partiers that I know of. Kim said, "My friends are telling me to choose me more often. I feel like it's maybe time." I would say it's time, but I sure love hanging out with my kids. Yeah, and it's not that you can't hang out with them, you guys. It's not that you have to do everything on your own. I am more of an introvert than I'm an extrovert, which I know surprises people, but I like my own time. And I found when I give myself that time, the rest of my external life is so much better because I get my time. That's one of the reasons that I travel by myself. And I've traveled by myself for many years now, but now I'm lengthening the trips. Like 2 years ago, well, last summer too. 2 years ago, I was like, I think I'm going to go like on a really long Montana trip. And I was so guided to do it. And I had work lined up and all this kind of stuff. And that's kind of one of Eli's things. "Oh, as long as you're working, he's fine with it." I'm like, "Sure, I'm working." "I'm working, sure." And I technically worked on the Camino. But in his mind, I don't care if he needs to think that, go ahead. But when I traveled, I learned so much about myself, and I get really clear what my needs are. And I get really clear what I want and what I like and what I don't like, and things that help me feel a little bit more comfortable. I run a little anxious sometimes. And so I'm like, okay, what do I need? One of the things that was really great on the Camino is I had a friend that we were roommates on the pre-trip and on the post-trip, but during the Camino, there was, I was like, "God, I really want my own room. Like, I really want my own room." And then an opportunity came up that some of us could have our own rooms. It was the biggest blessing for me. I was like, "Oh, thank God." And it had nothing to do with my roommate, nothing at all to do with her. I just know how I process. And so I love that piece when I travel by myself because I can get very clear on where I want to put my attention and where I want to spend my energy and where I need to let some things go or even some people go, or I can have a healthier boundary with somebody. So I think feeling into some of these things that fill you up and what you need is really important. So that's what we're talking about today. Okay. All right. I travel alone. I enjoy traveling with my kids. Yeah, and we love trips with the kids and without the kids. Eli's really fun to travel with, actually. He's really, really fun to take vacations with. And so I really like traveling with him. And as the kids got older, it would be me going, well, can't just you and I go? And he's like, no, we have to take the children. I'm like, I've taken the children for 20 years. Like, let's just go ourselves. And we kind of laugh about it because I'm like, they're old. They don't need to go. And then the kids are like, we want to go. So you can't leave them home if they still want to go. So we have different trips along. I travel by myself. I try to do something with Eli, and then we do a family trip. And Eli would pick a family trip over anything. He would always pick family trip over anything. So we always do just us four and girlfriends now. We've added girlfriends. Us four and the girlfriends or a friend, and we spend time as a family. And that's something we've done for a long time, which I love, 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 love. Because as they get older, that is going to get less and less, especially when everyone's got full-time jobs and all that good stuff. So, yep, priorities and boundaries. So I would love for you guys to work on doing something this weekend that fills you up. Just you. Don't worry about everyone else being filled up. What fills you up? So maybe it is a fall walk this weekend because it's supposed to be, actually it's going to be windy here. But if you're in the trees, it doesn't matter. You can watch all the trees fall or all the leaves fall. Or maybe you want to read a book. I used to be a voracious reader. And it drives some of my friends crazy because they're super big readers now and they used to never read a book. And I'm like, I don't know. It just feels like a waste of time for me. It's not a waste of time. Just right now, for me, it is because I'd rather be outside. I want to be outside. Being in nature is something that fills me up and I can just be outside. Sometimes it's cooking. Sometimes I actually enjoy the fall because I get to cook different things. And I love going to the lake. I love going to the farm. I love four-wheeling. I love hiking. I love all the outdoor stuff. Love skiing. So I'm excited for winter because I have brand new cross-country skis I was going to use to train for the Camino last year. And we didn't get any snow, so I didn't even get to use them. So I want people to experiment. My challenge to you is to experiment with some new things over this month and see if you find maybe a new hobby or a new something that feels good to you. Like going on a walk, it's all right. I don't mind going for walks. I rather hike. So that was a big distinction for me. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind going for walks. I go for walks, but I'd rather go for a hike because I like a little challenge. I don't want to go straight uphill. I decided I don't love that. I don't like winter hiking. At least at this moment, I don't. But I love a good, fun, challenging hike. So that was a distinction that I made when I started going out to Montana. So just think about it, you guys. What are some things that fill you up? Tell me in the comments. What are some things that fill you up that are really fun for you? Camped with my girls on a pop-up. Love that. We've done that too. Going to coffee with 2 different friends. Guess I'll be drinking a lot of coffee tomorrow. Perfect. Went for a manicure, pedicure, massage. Love that. Color for my nails was called Stretch Your Wings. Donna, that's awesome. I thought that was amazing because you told me to stretch in our new moon class. I did. We were just talking about that. So she's in spirit school, and one of the messages I got for her was to stretch. And sometimes when you're growing and expanding, your physical body actually needs some physical stretching. It's kind of like it stretches you into your spirit. I don't know how to experience or how to explain that. But that's hilarious that it said stretch your wings. So you might even want to visualize your angel wings and opening them up and closing them like a butterfly does. That'd be hilarious. Hallmark movies. Eli loves Hallmark movies. He loves Hallmark movies. So we do that too. That's something he loves to do. Friday nights with friends and a fire. Amen, sister. I love that. We actually at the camper, I didn't grow up doing this at all, but our neighbors would always light a fire in the morning. And I was like, I really like fires in the morning. Like in my mind, a bonfire is always at night. You always have dinner, then you do the fire, you do your marshmallows, you go to bed. That was just how it just made sense in my head. And they would keep lighting these morning fires. And I'm like, God, I just love this. And we'd take our coffee and I drink chai tea and we'd have coffee in the morning by the fire and we'd figure out our day. If we're doing anything together, we're doing our own stuff that day or whatever. We're doing a fish fry. Love it. I love fires during the morning. And even like a lot of times we just keep going all day. But that was awesome. I love doing morning fires. And some rides, sure. Walking, reading in my she shed. Petting the horses. Yes. Yep. Coffee on a fire, real bacon. Yep. We do a lot of cowboy breakfasts. Eli would cook for us and he created a grill for our bonfire. It was awesome. Yeah, Kathy, that's going to be great for you. She's having some people come over and they're going to do some shamanic work over there. So that'll be awesome. So I will do a little video on my hike that Eli promised me he's going to come with me on. And I don't know where we're going. I don't know if we're going to be at the farm or do DL Mountain. DL Mountain, by the way, if you're close, if you're in Fargo-Moorhead, Detroit Mountain has some beautiful walking trails. A lot of them are also bike trails, so you just got to be mindful. But it's spread out enough. It is beautiful. And this time of year, the bugs should be pretty good. But we're going to do a little hiking this weekend. We're going to clean up the camper and stuff. And we got some family stuff we're doing. So I am heading out the door. I can see him peeking at the door, wondering if I'm done yet. I will do some videos tomorrow. Again, Spirit School doors are open, you guys. These are the kinds of things that we keep working on. Big awareness, mindsets, different choices, different ways to look at life, different perspectives. So if you guys are guided, please get your butt signed up. Our next Spirit School class, if you're a member of Spirit School, is intuition class on next Wednesday. And we do some practice stuff and we talk about intuition and we do different subjects every month. And this year I'm going to plan on bringing some fun new guests in because I think that's always great. And so join us. Get your butt signed up for Spirit School. Otherwise, I will be back at noon on Monday, 12 o'clock Central. Okay. Oh, yeah, Sue, that's true. The Detroit Mountain also has one of the coolest trolls. I love the troll, the big, huge Thomas Dambo trolls. And then it also has the Golden Rabbit to hike to, which is actually a nice little hike. It's a little bit challenging. It's got some hills to it, but it's a cool trail and it's super beautiful. So, yep, always go hunt for the trolls. All right, friends, I got to go. I will see you soon. I will post some fun pictures and maybe get a little Hey Eli going this weekend so you guys can see what Eli's up to. The other thing that Eli also has requested after wanting this for 25 years is he wants a nice fall picture of the two of us. I posted one the other day and it was from last year that I made him do, fought with him to do. And this year now he's inside trying to get our outfits together so we can have a fall picture. So your husbands can grow and expand too, ladies. So I'll show you our fall poses and all the different faces he makes before he can actually just smile. So that's always something to be excited about as well, is to get out and get some family pictures because that's always fun. Okay, guys, see you later.